Hey everyone out there, this is Mark Weiss. You're tuned in to CMS TV. Don't go anywhere, stay there.
It is Chris Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin, and I am pleased to be talking to this guy today. This is going to be fantastic. His band, the 69 Eyes, has a fantastic new release, Death of Darkness. It is out April the 21st. It is, I'm going to say it's the best one that they've had in their long career. And here to talk all about it is the vocalist himself. It is Jyrki, 69. Jyrki, how are you, man?
I'm really good, and thanks for pronouncing my name perfectly. That's happy. I know you guys in the States can have fun out of my name, but honestly, it's pronounced like you said, Jyrki. And greetings from Hamburg. We are on tour in Germany, and we're playing in Hamburg tonight in a couple of hours. And I think it's sold out, and it's fantastic, so to say. And it's also like kind of weird, like you probably, those who have followed the 69 Eyes, we'll never do anything like rest of the world, any other band. So we're like we're releasing an album after our tour, you know. But that's for Europeans. We'll come to tour in the States, so you have our album out there.
Absolutely. Well, Jyrki, it's a great album. Let's start there. I will argue that it is the best album that you guys have done. It's certainly the moodiest album, and you guys are a moody band anyway. So talk a little bit about this album, man, writing it, and where the vibe came from this time, because it's such a cool, to me, it's a fun vibe, man. It's so good.
Thank you so much for these comments, and I honestly agree. I'm kind of like having hangover from our previous couple of albums, and in general I would say like the last decade from 2010 to 2019 was kind of like lukewarm, and like I said, I'm having a hangover from that time for us. I mean, we survived. Music business changed like 10 years ago. We survived that. We produced a couple of albums, did the routine tours, but thank God we had a chance to return to the States like 2019. That was fantastic after a decade touring there. And that in general, that really inspired us a lot. We have a lot of friends and fans out there, so that inspired us. You can hear that also on the record. And then, like all of a sudden, the world stops. What you do? Well, we all, thank God, also survived what just recently happened. But I mean, I think that's something to do with the album title, Death of Darkness, as well. We have to look forward. Now we are living the future right now. There's no looking back. We've survived. We're living the future. So I wanted, as the title, two very dark words: death and darkness. But if you put off there, the whole expression is very optimistic.
Sure.
So that's something that I wanted to bring out for this. So there's a song called California on the album. That is obviously just, like, I'm inspired by California, LA, Hollywood, but I used probably all my options to use that as inspiration, source of inspiration for the music that the 69 Eyes has done over the years. So it was kind of weird. I just got the demo track, our guitarist delivered that. But in my head, I heard the chorus for California, but I was like, I wasn't sure like what the other guys might think of, like what, like can I even? That was kind of risky. Like they think I'm, you know, what could I once again return to the same subject? But I could, and honestly, that was just like because I was missing. I was like 3 years not visiting over, so I was just missing the place. So I think somewhere in my conscious or subconscious, came out this idea like I have to have the chorus in a song, and the chorus as simple as California. So that's where it came from, and always because I don't live in LA, that endlessly seems to inspire me. Hollywood, all the myth and mythology, and living the dream, all that, and of course the darker side. The darker side is what inspires me. I think, honestly, like the song California, that's actually a dark song. I even mentioned, like a Night Stalker in there. So, there's two sides of the coin. And for this album, I've tried probably over a decade to come up with the song titled To Live and Die in LA, because I just love the title of the movie.
Right.
I love the poster. Everything of this movie is fantastic. And I'm always coming up with the movie title songs.
Sure.
Like Lost Boys, for example. I wrote a song. We had a song as a demo, which was called To Live and Die in LA, but it didn't make to the album. Maybe someday the song will be right, but there's something that inspires me and somehow fits for the 69 Eyes.
Sure.
I don't know if I lived in LA, if I was living in California, I would probably write about Helsinki and Finland. I guess it works that way, But thanks for the words for the album, and I think it's extremely fresh. One of the reasons was like that, as we released singles like already over a year. The first single was Drive, and then we saw it, like it came out, and how the fans responded to it, and also radio stations got it into rotation here in Finland, or there in Finland. I'm in Germany now, I have to remember that. So they're in Finland. So we released these singles one by one, and got the instant feedback. Meanwhile, we were in the studio writing new music, so that was inspiring, and that was something new. That was really new. It's the old template of rock band or metal band is to go to studio, spend time there, come up with the album, put out the single, the album comes out, and then you go on tour. But I wonder, of course, the fans are interested in getting new music, but who has time to listen to the entire album all just like that? And besides, if there's something else, if there's songs you want to point out, how you point them out? At least this way, as releasing them as a singles, you point them out and show them people and deliver them differently.
Do you worry when you do that, though, Jyrki, that they might get missed? Because if they just miss it, because, I'll just tell you how my phone works. When I'm on Spotify or YouTube Music or whatever, I may or may not today go through the new releases. And if you're featured on the new releases today, but maybe not Monday, I might completely miss it if you only have one single out. You see what I mean?
Yeah, and exactly. If you release a single and it doesn't get to the Spotify playlist on that Friday, then you're gone. And then you have to hunt down your listeners, one by one, way or another. But I like this is a game,
Right.
I like the game, and I love to play that game. And I'm in a position that actually the 69 Eyes listener numbers at this moment, as we are doing this interview, is over 500,000 like on Spotify, which is kind of like bigger than most of the metal or rock bands in general. So and thinking of that, we are like 34-year-old glam rock band from the 80s,
right?
So that's pretty cool for us. So keeping it fresh, keeping it real. And and I think like with this tour, as we are doing it, we're actually being very active in social media. If you go to our Instagram or Facebook page, mostly on Instagram, we have a LA-based Annabelle Deflux, very cool photographer with us, who's been taking pictures of all band. We're going in every city to very gothic and cool places before the show, and then we take photos, and we're sort of like showing fans how this tour goes, what we do on our spare time, which is like we hang out with looking like the 69 Eyes in the gothic locations, like namely churches and places like that, as we are here in the old continent in Europe. Every town is full of gothic churches. So let us have photo sessions before the show. So this is something we do at the moment, and we have a lot of fun, and that actually shows what kind of chemistry we have this band. We started this band as rock fans, and like we just wanted to party. None of us is really like musically talented in that way. None of us has gone musical schools. There's no like maestros in our band. We're average like rockers who learned by themselves to play through records, and we were playing in punk rock clubs. But that's the thing. We can actually, because of probably that, we can write songs. We can write catchy songs, just like the Ramones did, for instance.
Right.
So like we're very average than average these days, comparing to modern day musicians or modern guys in the bands. But we can write catchy songs, and we're friends. We started this as an adventure, and this goes on like this, and you can see that from the photos. We're here just to live our lives, and it's our lifestyle.
Sure.
And we honestly enjoy this. This never was a business. We never were good in business. We had few active managers 15 years ago, but they left us because once music business was changing. Now we have like really cool guys with us who really have the same kind of outlook of things.
Sure.
And there's something else while you're like creative artists, because we sincerely believe in rock and roll.
Right.
That's about it. We believe in that. We love rock and roll. We believe in that. We're excited to be playing at the same festival, like in June with Mötley Crüe. That's the most exciting thing. Sure. So that's our motives. Our motives are like we love to be in the band. It was the coolest thing ever, like in the late 80s, to be in a rock band.
Right.
As we started, it was the best pickup line ever. Like, come to see our band. We're playing next Friday. I put your name to the guest list, like the old school way. But today, today I wouldn't tell anyone like, hey, I'm in a band. We have released, well, I don't even say how many albums. We both know, and it's not very lucky number. It's one more than the Beatles, but I wouldn't tell anyone if I meet a new person to like, hey, I'm in a band, and the person might say, oh yeah, we released this and this many records. I probably would say something else.
Sure.
It's a funeral we are going to. Death of darkness.
Sure. Well, the interesting thing, Jyrki, is that unlike almost probably any other band of any other genre that came out as long ago as you guys did, you guys have really adapted to where you don't get stuck as like an old band. Most people still think of the 69 Eyes as a current band, the fan base, because one, you have a kind of a cult following, which is great, but two, I think the goth look and the goth imagery and whatnot has transitioned well. When you came out in the 80s, obviously there was the Motley Crues of the world, and even if you
Lords
wanted to
of
go,
the New Church, Sisters
or,
of Mercies,
or
and
even
and we had,
Misfits or whatever.
yeah, exactly, and but at some point we had like great friends like Typo Negative and
Sure.
Turbo Negro. All
Mhm.
those guys are gone.
Sure, but I think that the current fan, one, goth is way in right now, which is good for you guys,
Yeah, it's
and
interesting.
and two, you guys have really been adopted by fans of the newer school of goth, like the Black Veil Brides fans, as an example, have really gravitated to your band as well. It just seems like you guys from the beginning found that place that was just distant enough away from any genre to where you could keep on going without being classified as old. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and quite recently, as we were doing a very mainstream TV show back in Finland last fall, like very mainstream, like the biggest music TV show ever, and that goes on in Finland, and our band was there, part of that show. So the media was stating us back in Finland as a glam rock band. And I actually like that. It's pretty cool to be over 50 and you're in a glam rock band. I
Right.
love that. That's fantastic. But also, like you said, every town we play on this tour right now, tonight in Munich, there's the front row is, like a couple of first front rows are younger generation people who haven't seen us before. So now it's a night, like at this time as we speak, they probably dress up and, take pictures to their TikTok and things
Sure.
like this. And hashtag going to see the 69 Eyes or something like that. So, and especially like like you said, Goth is coming back, and then there's a Netflix series like Wednesday or something that always is fascinating and somehow uh, suits us very well, sir, as well. But what's there's left is like we've got everything we always wanted. Now we're playing Munich, a little over a month. We are playing Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood, and and both shows will be packed. So that's pretty much about what I want from my rock and roll dream, and I ever wanted.
Right.
So what else there's left? We got a great album out. I'm happy to deliver it for fans. What else there's left? I don't know. I think we're still, what motivates us, we're still like a little bit like waiting that what could be the thing that will happen. It's like, I don't think we properly write like anthem for the world that will be better than the rest of the music which is coming out, which is like, I actually listen to contemporary pop music all the time. I like, my favorite playlist is Mint on Spotify. I enjoy new music. I enjoy living in this time, but I don't think we will, our music will be on Mint. But on the other hand, there was the Cramps Human Fly quite recently, so you never know what happens. So I just want that some of these kind of things will happen for the 69 Eyes as long as we're still alive. Like the Ramones were gone, all of a sudden there was everybody wearing Ramones t-shirts, but the band was gone. Now the Cramps is gone. Human Fly is actually on the all the playlists in the world, or was like a little while ago. So I expect this kind of thing happening to the 69 Eyes, whether our music is featured in a movie or something like that. But I hope that will happen while we're still doing that, and we can enjoy that ourselves. Right. Yeah,
exactly.
But like I accept us being cult guys and cult band. That's not bad. That's cool, and I'm glad to inspire younger generation of musicians, and I that's one of the coolest things to meet them. Quite recently, a very cool band, American band Palais Royale, was playing in Helsinki, and that was really cool to meet those guys, as well as they had a Starbenders, another fantastic glam band from the States, and both bands knew our band, and they said they've been always fans, and they've always great to meet a new generation of really cool rockers and get
Right on.
these words. They go straight to my heart.
Absolutely. Well, Jyrki, we're gonna wrap this one up. This went fast as could be, but we're gonna wrap this one up. Just reminding people, the new album is called Death of Darkness. It is out on April the 21st. I have heard it. It is spectacular. I will
Thank
argue
you,
it is the best record that you guys have done in your. I won't say how long of a career because you didn't want to say it.
You don't mention like long going career.
Right. In your heralded career, we'll say. How's that?
Yes.
But you do have
glammy enough.
That's right. Well, you do have this new a video out there for the song California that you mentioned and you talked about. And we'll wrap up with that. But just real briefly on that song, do you look at California as kind of and this is my take, and you tell me it's completely wrong, but my take on watching the video and listening to the song a few times is that you see it as almost a failing climate, but you have hope that it doesn't. Is that close to what you were going for?
Times have been rough for us all, and
sure.
And I was actually like in LA, like in this January, and times are changing for a lot of things, but itself for us, like up in the north, like California and Hollywood itself, it symbolizes that living the dream, that dreams come true if you try hard enough, and that's something that the 69 Eyes and me personally have always been doing. Like we hang on, we stay true and stick to our guns. And like California is optimism. It's like, as I'm not from there, there's something there that like if I look to the horizon and the sun is going down, California is always there. But there's always like guys like Richard Ramirez in the shadows if you're not careful enough.
Right. Well, let's hope that none of your fans find the Richard Ramirez's out there. And let's hope they find the
Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Yeah, let's stick on Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
There we go. Perfect.
That's fascinating. But show business is always fascinating, and as you've been doing that as long as we do, it's just like it fascinates me more and more, and I'm glad that I have survived this long. Because that's the hardest business there, and like there is no business like show business.
Right, definitely. Well, Jyrki, one more time, the name of the album is Death of Darkness, the 69 Eyes, April 21st. And here it is. This is the video for California. And Jyrki, thanks so much for joining me here on CHRIS Akin Presents.
Great talking to you, and see you soon on American tour in May.
Very good, man. Can't wait.
Night stalker in a traffic jam when the heat is on. Palm trees of Venice. Don't you change that song.